You know, it's absolutely wild. Well, not so wild, but like I made Pumpkin Patch more out of an obligation to the fact that all Hail the Pumpkin King did so well. So I figured I'd try to release something for all the subscribers I got from that, and it didn't really pop off that well. But I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot what the project was gonna be called. I'm gonna circle back to that, but like you'll notice that the two songs at the end have a completely different sound than the first three on that project. And it's because a few years ago I started like 5 songs to follow up All Hail the Pumpkin King, and that was supposed to be Pumpkin Patch, but I never finished it because when I started recording the entire thing, it just sounded too dark to me. And for me, even if I'm making horrorcore or something like that, it can't be like all the way angry. There has to be an aspect of fun in it, or else I can't fuck with it. I can't listen to it. It's just like all it is brutal anger, and I don't vibe with that, I guess. So like when I created those songs, like the beats on them are fucking nuts. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I made the beats to those and they're fucking nuts. Butcher and Rot. But it's just that they sound so angry. There was another song that went with those called Burn the Church, and I can't remember what the other two were called. But I took Butcher and Rot from that darker project that I was creating and then just brought them over to Pumpkin Patch, because I actually made like 5 to 7 beats for Pumpkin Patch, and I did like them before work, and then I went to work, and then after work I went and I recorded everything, and I recorded till like 4 a.m. Then I woke up and I hadn't recorded for like fucking months, so like my muscles were so tense I felt like I was gonna vomit. But like I felt like I had a hangover from drinking too much. That's what it felt like. But like then I recorded as much as I could that day before I was like, I need to fucking lay down and just let my muscles relax type of John. So that's how I recorded Pumpkin Patch. It was like a 2-day thing just to get all those 5 songs done. But admittedly, Butcher and Rot had their first verses already written. Rot had a different chorus. I didn't like it. It didn't turn out the way that I wanted to. So I wrote Rot really quick, like the chorus for it. I don't really like it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the way that turned out. I think it could have been better. I had a stupid accent that entire time. And for some reason the accent wouldn't go away when I was recording it. And yeah, that's the way that sounds. But the problem with Rot, that like now that I'm looking back on it, I have a really big regret, and I could fix it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Is that instead of Rot just being like rapidy rap, which the verses could have went to something else if that's what I wanted to do. But Rot, when it said like, when I walk into the tempest, let the blood rain and talk, everybody wanted heaven, but today they get the rot. What would have been way fucking better, and if I had the time to do it, is if I wrote a story to that. Because like, to me, when I think of that, that would have been a really good story to be like, let's say the rapture happened and everybody that was supposed to go up to heaven got lifted up, they went, whatever. Everybody else on earth were stuck there and they couldn't die. Like no matter what they do, they couldn't die. They were just stuck here. So like if you got shot, it would heal. If you got stabbed, whatever, it would heal. The sickness wasn't a thing. Your body stayed good as long as it stayed fine. I'm gonna get back to that. So over time, angels would come down. They would select different people that they thought were worthy of getting into heaven, and then they take them up to heaven, and that person would be raptured. But the problem with that is like human evil and greed is that they want to keep the people that they have left so that they're not alone. So like if their family didn't get raptured, they would try to keep them safe from being taken by the angels to go to heaven. Because of human greed, they want their loved ones to be around them. And during the time after the rapture, when people felt like it was the apocalypse, the amount of violence that would be going on, and like the amount of panic and chaos, they found that if you got hurt enough, your body would start to decay, but it wouldn't die. And this would be the rot. So like if somebody tortured you to the point where your body couldn't heal as fast as the infection would keep destroying you, this would be the rot, and it would make your body smell like it was dying, like just fucking awful. But the benefit to this rot is that the smell is so egregious that it keeps the angels that come to take your loved ones up to heaven away. So like if they came down, it would be like a scarecrow essentially. So people would purposely go out of their way to find people to put into the state of rot, to put outside their homes to protect their family from being raptured. So eventually, as people found out and this became more regular, the society got used to putting people in a state of rot to protect their families, and the roads would be lined with crucifixes of people stuck up on there in a state of rot, where their body's just in a constant state of trying to heal itself and also like being torn apart, and they can never fucking die. So where it's like in the chorus where it says the hooves and the horns, the second coming has been born, the second coming would be talking about how humans evolved to become like do such an evil act to the people around them to keep their own family safe for the sake of their love and their greed and stuff like that, and they become the monsters that were left on Earth type of thing like that. And it would just be like there's just different directions and facets you could add to this just to make the story more interesting and stuff. But the concept of the rot would be a really good story, and there's a dude I would actually pitch that to for like a short film, because he does really weird short story type things. Sorry, my phone is a fucking mental case. On Instagram, you can find him under Jimmy Screamer Claus. He has long form content like movies and stuff like that. He has short films and stuff like that he makes in 3D animation, and it's all really strange. I fucking love it personally. There's some stuff that will make people be like fucking no. So if you got a weak stomach and stuff like that, don't fucking watch this shit. But I would pitch that to that dude, because I think he would be able to take that story and run with it and make something really cool out of that. But it's just like, put yourself in the situation where you have to like go to the store or something like that, just something really extra regular, and then on the way to your store you're just watching people writhing in pain on the side of the road, like for miles upon miles, people crucified in this state of rot that they just will never fucking heal from, and you could just smell it in the air, and it becomes so regular and normalized that you just start to ignore it type of thing like that. It's just I think that would have been a really cool story to go with for the rot. Anyways, Butcher, I actually wanted to get Gru on for the second verse instead of writing a second verse myself, but it says it's on the chorus I wrote horror from the north, so I didn't know if I should ask him because he's not Canadian. You know what I mean? I'm Canadian, so I put like horror in the north, and I talked about skinwalkers and wendigos. For anybody that doesn't know, this is native culture. There's nothing that pisses me off more than going online and seeing a white guy talking about fucking skinwalkers in every single one of his videos. I'm gonna be entirely honest. And they just be making up shit too. I seen one dude be like, yeah, skinwalkers are like fourth dimensional beings, man, and they fucking travel through different universes. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, cracker? Are you kidding me? You're just stealing other people's fucking cultures and adding your own lore to it. Shut up. That's fucked up. But that's the reason why the entire project sounds disconnected. Well, the first three songs kind of have the same sound, but they are slightly disconnected because I forgot what Pumpkin Patch was supposed to be. And every time I went to write fucking horrorcore stuff, I would write about cannibalism. I don't know, maybe I'm a fat ass. I'm just thinking about eating all the fucking time, but like I couldn't get away from that. And that's another reason why I didn't release the project, is because I kept talking about cannibalism. And I'm like, wow, this is a one-trick pony fucking show over here, man. Nobody wants to hear about the same shit every single fucking song. So I just didn't release it. And then when I wrote Haunted Carousal and Hater, the idea, well, first of all, Haunted Carousal, I was thinking of the guy from Tokyo Ghoul the entire time. I don't know if any of you watch anime, but like the weird fucking dude that tries to eat Kaneki. The entire song, I just thought about him, and then I was like, well, I'll just call this entire project Cannibal Carnival, you know? It's got a fun clowny vibe to it. By the way, I looked for that fucking ghost sound, that little synth, for like fucking days before I made those beats, because I wanted that specific like Ghostbuster sound on there. That little woo thing that you hear at the start of two of the songs. But yeah, I was gonna go with the Cannibal Carnival, and I made an entire 3D scene to shoot a music video to. And then after I got all those four recorded, I remembered what the fucking project was supposed to be called, the Pumpkin Patch. And then I went and recorded Pumpkin Patch. I made the beat and then quickly went and recorded that in like an hour or so. And then that turned out to be my favorite song because one, my voice was healed from the earlier that week when I recorded like those other songs. And then there was a lot more I tried recording and it just didn't come out sounding good. So I have leftover beats from that project that sounded more poppy than they did fucking horrorcore or even boom bap even. So like they definitely didn't fit the project, but I was just trying to do so much weird shit with my voice that's why my delivery doesn't sound quite as on point as with my other songs or Pumpkin Patch, even the song, because I just wore it down the entire night until 4 a.m. And then the next day I recorded the project as you hear it now with my voice all worn down and shit like that. But that's why I gave it a really carnival type of sounds with Hater and the Haunted Carousal, because I was going to go with the carnival vibe. But if you listen to Butcher and Rot, the idea for the Pumpkin Patch was like a dreaded forest. Like it's very fucking dark, it's very gritty, it has like, I added sounds that sound like they kind of like tear into your soul a little bit. And that's what I was going for the beats. But yeah, when I finally got it recorded and it sounded too dark, I was like, no, I'm not gonna release this as is. So being able to go from like that really fun Pumpkin Patch on the start and then just like slowly move into that dark vibe at the end was adequate, because I like, no matter what, I want to be fun. I want people to be able to put it on at any single point in time or whatever vibe they're in, you know, and not lock them down to be like, oh yeah, you have to play this when you're angry and that's fucking it. I think I'm beating a dead horse like talking about this. I think I've ran over the same things multiple times. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to point out, like during the creation of this fucking project, is that my entire life I've been living by the set rule when recording that you need to like, here, let me put my mic up here for a second. You're supposed to record like this far away from like your pop filter and stuff like that so that you get the cleanest, most blah, 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 fucking recording possible. And the entire time I've recorded like Charlie Kirk, Pumpkin Patch, and like a few other songs that I put out the last little bit, is I just held the mic in my hand and I put it like off axis so it's pointing at me from the side, and that's how I record the entire thing. Like, and if you ask me, it's been some of the cleanest, nicest fucking recordings or sounding mixes that I put out in fucking a long time, dude. So like, as far as recording goes, fuck everybody's rules, you know what I mean? I thought that would be an interesting point to bring up for anybody's like starting to record or anything like that. You don't stress details. Like before I was like just holding it in my hand and stuff like that. I had it on this arm and I would just, instead of setting up how like people say to set shit up, I just bring it down, hit record, blah, 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 wherever the mic is, however fucking I'm positioned. That's how I'm recording. I'm not standing up straight, making sure that I'm prim and fucking proper. I'm not worrying about my posture. I'm just worrying about how I feel emotionally, because like before I hit record at any given time, I have to remind myself, have fun, make sure that you're having fun, because if I don't, I force my voice and then I'll wear my voice out too much by trying to create a sound as opposed to naturally expressing emotion type of thing like that. So it's like when I was recording Pumpkin Patch, it's simple to you, but no, I was like actually wiggling my head, turning my head, like making clown gestures and stuff like that when I was recording to be able to actually express it the way that was supposed to sound. I wasn't just, it's simple to you, but like, don't stress small details like that. You know what I mean? If you're starting to record, the most important thing is being comfortable and being able to get outside of your head so that you're not stressing too much about shit that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because if you stress, your body will stress, and then your muscles will tense, and then your rib cage will tense, and then you won't be able to breathe properly, and you won't be able to exhale properly, like smoothly, because you're a wind instrument, motherfucker. You need airflow. Another tip for singing, I guess, is always do your stretches like this, so that your rib cages can expand and stuff like that. Anyways, I fucking ADHD. Anyways, I guess all that to say, there's probably a lot I regret about that fucking project, but I wouldn't change it because I like how it turned out, I guess. This video is pointless. except for the Ross story. That would make a great fucking short film. Just saying.